we guess what author I read all of their books this week? This week I was reading the Backlist of Stacy WIllingham. I had read Flicker in the Dark and I really enjoyed it. So I decided to read All These Dangerous Things and Only If You're Lucky. I hope you enjoy the vlog. I will be back at the end for all reviews of these, and if you want to just skip to the book reviews, you can hit the timestamps below. We are starting with probably the sleepiest version of me you will ever see because I did not sleep well last night. The power went out in the middle of the night, and it's literally never happened in the middle of the night before, but I could barely sleep to begin with, and I finally got to sleep around 1 or 2, and then the power went out. And when our power clicks back on, a crazy alarm goes off, and it is so loud. We're gonna start here, and I'm going to read All the Dangerous Things by Stacy WIllingham. I'm pretty sure, oh my god, that's so funny. There's a blurb on the back by Sarah Pearse, and I just did an entire Sarah Pearse video where I read all 3 of her books. It's like a kidnapping story, so I feel like it might be like a popcorn thriller, and I might just be able to read it all. Like, honestly, I just want to read like in one sitting. That's the type of mood I'm in. It's 320 pages. Update, I'm on page 80, chapter 14, and we are following Isabel, who is a mother whose son Mason goes missing from his bedroom one night, and ever since he went missing, like, Isabel cannot sleep. And she does like these talks where she talks about the story, and her story has like gone famous and people come to listen to her tell the story. And one day she is asked by one of the people who attend if she would like to go on to his famous true crime podcast. As of right now, she says no, but the synopsis ruins it for you. So far, I do like the setup of the story. Again, I'm only 80 pages in. I think it's about like 20% in. I will say, coming off of reading Sarah Pearse's books, where multiple POVs, especially Sanatorium and the Retreat, you have a ton of different views. It is very interesting and actually a little refreshing to go back to just one view, but there is 2 timelines, like the now, which is her still trying to figure things out, and then the past, which is reflecting on like her childhood and her growing up with her sister and her dad, and we don't really know why yet. We're flashing back to the past, so that's adding like an extra element of, I'm curious of how the timelines are going to mesh together. I have no idea. I don't have like a suspect or any inkling of what happened to the son. I don't know if I'm supposed to yet, 80 pages in, so I'm curious of how that all starts to unfold. I have a quick doctor's appointment, so I'm just going to toss this in. Look how cute this bag is. It says Future Mrs. My soon-to-be mother-in-law got it for me. I'm getting married this year. I'm probably gonna listen to the audiobook on the way there and the way back because I'm very determined to finish this today. It is a quick read, so I definitely was correct in thinking that it was a popcorn thriller, but I'm really enjoying it so far. And there's not a ton going on in it, but I feel like that's more fun, that there's not like a lot going on in it. So I want to come home and read, do some hobbies, and then I have to get ready for dinner. We're going out to a like girls' dinner, so I'm excited for that. I'm home from my appointment, and on the way home from the doctor's office, I realized I was not too far from Goodwill, so I ran in and I have a mini book haul for you. The first one I got is Kill for Me, Kill for You by Steve Kavanaugh. This is the UK cover, which I didn't recognize the book at first, and then I flipped it over and it said UK amounts for the price, and I was like, that's why I don't recognize it. So it's kind of funny. The UK cover is kind of different. I don't know. It's like just like an escalator. So I've read 13 by Steve Kavanaugh and I absolutely loved it. So I hope I like that one. The next one I got is The Survivors by Jane Harper. I've read, what are they called? The Dry and Force of Nature, which I think is part of the, I want to say his name is Aaron Faulkner, maybe. It was part of like a duology maybe by her. And then I also do have The Lost Man. So now I'll have 2 Jane Harpers that I have to read. So maybe I will do like an author vlog on her. The last one, which is pretty exciting, is 11/22/63. So I've really wanted the paperback version for so long, and I've been trying to thrift it for years at this point, and I have not come across like a copy that's in this good of shape. There's no water damage. There is no mold in it. I was like going through it, sniffing it, because half the time Stephen King's books are filled with mold in the thrift stores because they are so big, and usually it's someone who it's like was in their basement and then they decided to donate it. But it just was in such good condition, and I was like, I might have to let go of the hope of getting it in paperback thrifted, because I mean $2.99 and it's almost brand new. Really was like, I have to just get over it and get the hardback. I read some of like his other ones in hardback, like Under the Dome is like, that thing can do some damage. It's so heavy. And then like I read paperback, and it was so big, and it was so nice to have like a lighter paperback. Like this book is definitely heavy, so I really did want the paperback, but this book is one of my most anticipated Stephen King's to read. I'm super hyped about it. You will probably see me read it in a Stephen King vlog very soon. I did have another Stephen King vlog that I was planning, but in that one I was planning to read Do McKee and then 2 others by him, but they were a little shorter. But now I'm like, maybe I just read Do McKee in this in a Stephen King vlog. Let me know if you want to see either of those or what your opinions are. It is the next day. I'm going off to the library to return my Sarah Pearse books, which I'm so sad. Go watch that reading vlog. The Retreat was literally a 5-star for me, and The Wild was pretty good as well. After that, I'm going to grocery shop, and then after that, all my chores will be done. I'll do a quick library haul. Also, they have like a free book area, and I got the double game. I have heard good things about this book. This is a historical fiction. And I read the synopsis again, and it sounded really cool. So I love like spy, like CIA, FBI stuff. So that's kind of what it sounds like this is. So yeah, that's cool. I got a free library book. I have a Catherine Stedman vlog coming up. So I got The Family Game, Look in the Mirror, which is her newest one. This one's like also, the book is very tiny, if you could see. These 3 will be in the Catherine Stedman vlog. And I'm also reading Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. This is the only Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen I haven't read. So I have like had an impossible time trying to thrift this. For years I've wanted this book. I think it came out in like 2019 or 2020. Yeah, 2020. Been trying for 5 years to thrift it. Have not found it, so I just got it from the library. And then I have 2 others by Sarah Pekkanen that I'm going to read in that vlog, and then like go over all of their joint books and their standalones. I'm going to get back to read. I'm about halfway through, and there's some stuff coming out that I'm like, yeah, these people are guilty as heck. I realize I'm making soup tonight, and it needs to like simmer for quite some time. Chop and listen to the book, and that sounds like a wonderful Sunday night. I'm gonna get this all on the stove, and then I'm gonna try to tangibly finish All These Dangerous Things. I actually only have like 3.5 hours left of the audiobook, but yeah, I really like it. I was just so pleasantly surprised, and I think I'll talk more in my review later about like what I found so surprising with it, but really enjoyed it. And it was like, I don't know, the only thing I can describe it as is just like such a happy surprise. I don't know, the twist at the end, it just really got me. I didn't see it coming. I read a bunch of thrillers the past couple weeks, and I'm like, am I losing my edge because I never see the twists coming anymore? I just really enjoyed this book and the message of the book. Right now I've been listening to audio. I had to work today, so I've been listening to the audio a little bit if I had like easy task, and then I was just reading for a while. Only If You're Lucky, which I love this cover so much, and it took me a really long time staring at it to realize that these are like people like by a bonfire. I don't know what I thought the cover was, but I've seen this for so long on my TBR and I just never knew what they were. This book is a group of college girls, and one of the fraternity brothers ends up dead, and the girls are kind of questioned, and there's like this really popular girl who kind of takes all of them under her wing, and she is now missing. So the police are questioning the group of girls about where did she go, what happened, and why did this guy end up dead? I'm like flying through it. I'm already over halfway. It is reminding me a little bit of the It Girl, just because I think the It Girl might be boarding school though. I don't know if it's college or boarding school, but that is my favorite Ruth Ware thriller. So it's just giving me little notes of that, but I love the female friendship in this book a lot. I've been physically reading for a while, so I'm going to switch to the audio and finish Closer that I had started in another video and listen to some of it. I'm hoping I may be able to finish it tonight. I'm just like excited to see how it is. I can't believe how much I like it because this has been on my TBR for a while. Welcome back for the reviews. Let's get into it. I'm going to go in order of publishing. The first book review is for A Flicker in the Dark, and this was published in 2022 and is 386 pages. This follows Chloe, and when she was younger, 6 teenage girls were murdered, and her father confessed to killing them. But 20 years later, another girl goes missing, and Chloe goes back to town to figure out, was her father ever actually guilty, or is this just a copycat? I gave this book 3.75 out of 5. It was super fun and it's very fast paced. I like that the book didn't really feel like gimmicky and that everything that was there made sense to be there. And I ultimately really enjoyed the ending. I couldn't give this a higher rating just because it was so hyped up online that I feel like I was really scrutinizing it as I was reading it, unfortunately. Whereas like if you go in with no expectations, sometimes you're just happily surprised. The next review is for All These Dangerous Things. This was published in 2024 and is 352 pages. This book follows Isabel, and her son is one night kidnapped from his room while Isabel is supposedly sleeping, and she teams up with kind of like a true crime podcaster to figure out what happened that night. I gave this book 5 out of 5. This book really hit for me. I think it had like real world issues embroiled into a thriller, and it was packaged so well, and I feel like this book needs to be talked about more because it was so fantastic. I also really think what got me in this book, the way Stacy WIllingham talks about motherhood and the effects on the mothers, is so fascinating, and I think it's something that should be talked about more. I really thought it was such a great way to capture that topic, especially for someone who is younger, who's not a mom yet, just to be exposed to things like that. I thought it was written in a really great way. And I overall just really thought this book was super refreshing and so unexpected. I just wasn't expecting it to love it as much as I did. The last review is for Only If You're Lucky, and this was published in 2024 and is 375 pages. This book follows Margot, and while she's kind of grieving the loss of one of her friends, she is swept up by this popular girl named Lucy. Lucy takes a huge interest in her, and she's not sure why, but it creates this whole world of female friendships and frat parties and fun for her. When someone from her past shows up, she tries to piece together what actually did happen to her best friend passing and tries to get as many answers as possible. I gave this book 3.5 out of 5, although I thought it was a really fun premise and it definitely took me back to my college days. I ultimately felt like the book was a little repetitive and the twist was just kind of bizarre to me. It didn't land like it did in Flicker in the Dark and All These Dangerous Things. I did like the story, I like the college nostalgia. As like I'm someone who went to college and lived in a suite full of girls, it definitely brought me back to the good old days. And so in that sense, it was really fun to see that in a thriller. But this book was almost 400 pages, and I think if she maybe cut some of it, it would have been more of like a punchier thriller, in my opinion. So that was my reviews on Stacy WIllingham. I will say overall as an author, I think she is fantastic. I think she can really take on different types of stories. This is more of like a murder mystery. This is a kidnapping. This is like a friendship drama, so I feel like she is pretty versatile, and I am very excited. She has a new book coming out, and I cannot wait to read that. Now, if you've read any of these and if you have any opinions, but if you have any authors you think I should take their backlist on next, let me know. But thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye!